So just sitting in a nice cross leg. If you need to, you can pop a block underneath if you find it hard to stay seated here, or you can sit on the bolster. So just relax your hands down. Take a nice deep breath in here. Feel yourself center through your body. Just connect in with how you're feeling, how your mind feels. And just notice the sensations in the body. We're going to start with just a 3-part, daiost breath. We're going to use our arms here and working through. And you can stay cross-legged, or you can come onto your knees, which allows you a little bit more movement, but only if that's appropriate for you. And you can pop a bolster under here if it's too much for you to sit. So first off, you're just going to bring the hands up and extend them out. And then just gently bring them up and bring them behind your head. Bringing your elbows and wrists together. Then from here, take them out. You're going to push them out. And then gently bring them forward, round through the spine, touching the hands. And then gently lift up, look up to the sky, and then fold forward, like you're coming into a child's pose and dropping the head towards the floor. And then you come up again. Bring the arms up, bring them behind your head, bring the wrists together, and then gently roll them out, pushing away like a wall, and then gently bring them forward, curling and curving through the spine, and then gently lift the hands up and look up to the sky. Gently folding forward, taking the arms to either side, dropping the head towards the floor, and then gently coming up. Bring the wrists behind, elbows together, and then gently reaching out, pushing the ball. Bring them forward, round through the upper body, bring the hands to touch. Gently lift the chest, looking up, and then folding forward. Bring the hands around the side. Gently coming back to the center. So that's a 3-part daiost breath, and we're going to do it again in other classes, but that's a really nice way to open up the spine. And what you want to do is, as you bring the hands behind, you're breathing in, and then as you exhale, you push out. Inhale, round through the spine. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, folding forward. Exhale here. And then inhale, coming to the center. So that's just something for you to play with at home. Have a little go with that. So from here, we're coming back onto our buttocks. And we're going to extend the legs out. Just move the flesh out from beneath you and just have the legs hip width apart. From here, just gently, so with yin, it's just about feeling that edge. So stay here for a moment, feel through the hips, take a nice deep breath in, and then gently start to curl down. as you start to curl down, just gently softening and just coming as far, so it's not about pushing yourself too deep, but just coming down as far as you can that you feel a stretch. Now, some of you might find that you're a bit upright here, and you can pop something underneath your buttocks to help tilt the pelvis forward. But if that's too much, you can even bend the legs a little, and you can pop a bolster underneath and fold forward, because that takes the hamstrings out of it. So you can play with that, because it's not how you look in this pose, but what you feel. So as you're hanging forward, you can either let your head hang, just softening through the jaw, through the head, taking deep breaths in, or you can always rest your bolster or block, rest your head on it if you feel like you need a bit more support through your body. And just allow the breath to flow in and out. Just letting your awareness notice the body. Feel the sensations. Feel the tissue. And just use your awareness to notice where the body is. As we start to let the back open, getting into the deeper tissue along the spine, in the lower lumbar. Some of you may feel it through the legs. But there's no force. And as you go, you might notice your edge moves. Gravity takes you a little deeper. But for some of you, you might not move, and that's okay. As long as you have that sensation of that edge, that stretching and stress of the fascia. We talk about stress because it's good to stress the tissues, causing them to have that sensation, because that makes us stronger in the tissue in the long run. Make sure you soften through your jaw, soften through your head and neck. Now, you have permission if you need. If you're finding it hard to stay in the stillness, you can come out.
Don't sit down. Go on.
But just take a deep breath.
Great. Now, basket. Sit down there. Sit. Stay.
I'm just muting you all. So just take a moment, feel the breath, and really, really slowly start to come up. Uncurl through the spine, and then gently lifting. Now, the stress to the tissues is important to create healthy cells, but also rest is important. So the rebound is really important for this whole yin process. So you can either lay flat and just release. You can rest back onto your hands and just lift your chest. If you need something more dynamic, you can lift up into tabletop and just feel through the pelvis, the back, the spine. You can move the knees, but you may just choose to be still, and that's okay too. So take the time it takes. So it takes this time, and when you feel ready, move onto your belly. Now we're coming into sphinx pose, so we're doing the opposite. We're curving the spine now. And you're going to have the elbows underneath the shoulders. And you should feel the pressure in the lower back. Now, if for some of you this is quite strong, you can always just bring the arms out slightly more so that you have less curve in the upper back. If you find that it's quite easy for you, you can always pop up, bolster and lift yourself up a little bit. This will increase the stress in the lower lumbar. And once you've found where sphinx is for you, you can drop your head down, or you could even rest your head in your hands. But just take some deep breaths here. Wherever it is for you, you want to feel the stress of the pose in the lower lumbar. Some of you may feel it in other places as well, and that's okay. Just soften through the buttocks and find the stillness in the body. Feel the breath. Feel it flow in and out. Soften through the legs. And often people say, should I have my legs wide? Should I have my legs together? It really depends on how it feels for you. If you're having a sharp pain in the back and it's alleviated by having the legs together, then that's the pose for you. And if you don't feel much, you might take the legs wider and see if that changes for you. Because only you have your biology. Only you have your bones. So there's only one of you to feel this pose. For those that are quite bendy, if you want, you can always bend the legs as well now. And that will give you a slightly deeper, maybe sensation in the pose. So wherever you are, just take a few breaths and try and find that stillness. Close your eyes. Feel the body. Feel the breath. And just gently release down. And whichever side you turn your head to, you rest your head on your hand, bring that leg up. So my head is turned to the left. Bring your left leg up, just to release the spine. And just take a few breaths here. And then gently release. Coming into a child's pose. Place the toes together. You can have the knees wide or the knees together, whichever works for you. And just bring yourself down into that child's pose. And just feel the spine. If you need a slightly more dynamic movement, you can come into a gentle cat-cow or a downward dog if you need that more dynamic in between each yin pose. Then gently coming up, sitting down onto your buttocks again. If you need to sit onto a prop, you can. Take your left leg into a half butterfly and move your right leg gently out to the side. Then turn yourself towards your right leg and you can bring your left hand on the inside and just breathe into the twist for a moment. And then gently release that hand and fold towards that leg. Softening the head, the hands, the shoulders. Softening through the straight leg. And just breathe and allow the breath to flow through the body. Feeling the tissue move, flex, stay, but soften. Let it become heavy. And then from here, just let that right hand come down the leg. And you can bring that left hand behind your back. And you're kind of coming into a little bit of a side bend here. So you can rest your head on your hand. Or you can slide it down the leg and just rest it on the toes. You can let the head hang. Feel your breath. And then if you want to, you can take that left arm, if it's not too much, a little bit overhead. So you feel the stretch in the side of the body. And then just take a moment, drop that left hand, just fold towards that right leg. It might be the same. You might find you're a little bit deeper. And then just gently roll up. Just bring the hands behind you. Release that leg. Smooth the feet. And lift the chest. I like to just move very gently by putting the weight onto the left and right side. You can bring the legs in and windshield wiper if that feels better for you. And then we're going to slide the legs out again. Bring your right foot into a half butterfly. And again, just bring the right hand to the outside of the left leg. Just getting a little bit of a twist through the torso, just for a breath or two. Noticing the body. And then release that and fold forward towards the left leg, wherever that is for you. Soften through the head and the neck. And just come to where you find that edge for you. And if you want to, you can bring the left hand along the leg. You could always rest your head on your hand. You can bring it down towards the foot and take your right hand behind your back. And then just allow yourself to lie like in a side bend over this leg, feeling the side of the body. Taking deep breaths, noticing the rib cage, feeling the body. And then if you want to, you can take that right hand overhead, but only if this feels appropriate for your body, your shoulder, your head. Feel yourself open a little bit to the sky. Feel that stretch, but don't push yourself. And if it's too much, you can bring it behind again. It's up to you where you feel. Just take it to that edge, don't go too deep. If you feel like you can't stay for the time, and just gently turn back towards the leg and fold down. And then slowly roll up. Nice and slowly to feel the sensations as you lift back up. Bring the legs in. You can rub the knees, you can move the legs. You can lie flat on your back if that feels appropriate for you. You can roll the ankles, can rest back onto the hands and move through the knees. So with that pose, we've done a few forward bends. So now we're going to come back onto our belly for sphinx pose, which we've done once. So you're going to just place the elbows under the shoulders and just feel now the hips. And it's normal to notice if there's like a sense of fragility in the body, like where you feel like your body has been worked. Some of you may or may not feel that, and it's really dependent on your body. So again, you can play with how you want. If you're finding that your back's a bit achy and you want to, you can pop the bolster underneath your chest and just rest your arms out. So that will still give you a bit of a stretch in the lower back as well, but it may take a little bit of the pressure out for you. Or again, if you need a bit more, you can pop the bolster under here, lifting you up to get a bit more in the lower back. You can bend the knees and see how that feels in the body. Wherever you settle in the Sphinx, you can have the head looking forward. You can drop the head down, but we've done a couple of forward folds. So if you're feeling a little bit timid in the neck, you can keep the head up. Let's close the eyes. Take some deep breaths in here. And just feel the sensations that may be coming. And it may feel different than it did in the beginning. Now, if you are very flexible and you want to, you can Turn the hands out, lift up into seal for the last few moments of this pose, if that is appropriate for you and your body. If not, stay where you are, enjoy the pose. And gently lower your upper body down to the forearms. And this time turn your head the other way. So for me, I'm turning it to the right. And I'm going to bring my right knee up along the mat. And just take a few breaths here, feeling the body. You can either stay here for a bit longer, or you can move into a child's pose. The toes together, you can have the knees wide, or if you prefer to have the knees together and wrap the hands around to really round through the spine, you can do that too. Wherever that child's pose is for you, give yourself a moment to soften into it. And then gently coming up, coming onto your buttocks. And again, if you need support sitting on something, you can. Really take our legs as wide as comfortable. Coming into straddle. So we did half butterfly on both sides. Now we're going to come into this forward fold. And we're going to work our body down towards the floor. Now some of us, depending on our pelvis, may be sitting upright. We may even have to rest our hands behind us and hold here. You can play with bending the knees a little bit. Even some of you may end up doing like a wide-legged like squat, floor squat, to come forward. So you can play with that a little bit and see as you come forward how it feels. So then from here, just gently rolling down through the spine until you get to your edge, wherever that may be for you. And you might use a block or a prop. So you can have the bolster, rest your arms on here. You might want to give it a little bit of a cuddle. You can also use your block if you are open to just rest your head on, whichever one it is for you. Or if you don't want to use props, just turn the palms up and let the head hang. So don't go too deep, just allow yourself to come into a pose that is right for you. It's not about going so deep, it's just feeling that tiny stretch through the fascia, the tendons, the ligaments, the bones, and noticing and becoming aware of the body. So you might even feel it on the legs. You might not feel it in the back. You might feel it in the legs. You might feel it in the buttocks. You might feel it in the neck or the upper shoulders. Wherever you feel sensation is the correct sensations for you. If for any reason you feel pain, you can come out if you need to, or you've just maybe gone too deep. So just feel the breath. Relax the head and neck. And just allow yourself to soften into the stillness. Feel the time. Just feel where you are. Allow yourself to focus on that breath. And you might find as time goes on, you can go a little deeper. Just feeling that body releasing. And it's okay to go deeper into a pose as long as there's no force. That it's just softening. Allow yourself to feel. You might find you're going deeper. And gently, slowly bring yourself back up, straightening through the spine. And use some muscular effort now to lean back and just bring the legs in. Take a moment there. You might just move the hips from side to side. You might come into windshield wipers. And then just gently coming down onto your back and just placing the hips on the ground. Bring the knees ever so softly towards the chest and widen them out. For some of you, you may just end up holding the knees as so. So the knees are coming up towards the armpits. But for others of you, you're going to come into frog. Bring the hands on the inside and you can hold the ankles, the insides of the feet, or the outsides of the feet, but your arms are on the inside of the leg. You're drawing down through the knees towards the armpits and the floor. Your feet are up towards the ceiling if you're not holding on to just the knees, okay? And just feel where that is for you, the sensation of stress in the tissue as gravity draws the knees down. There should be little muscle effort in the arms, just more enough to just hold the feet rather than pulling them down. You might close your eyes. Just breathe into the abdomen. And gently release the feet. Just let the knees fall together for a moment or two. Or if you want to, just extend the legs out. Notice if there is movement through the chi, the energy in the body. Or if you need to, you're welcome to move in the rebound as well. If you like the movement, you might lift the hips off the ground and then lower them down. You can roll them up and roll them down. And just doing this 2 or 3 times to feel through the body. And then from here, you're going to have the feet as wide as the mat. And just move the knees gently from side to side. And then bring them together now. Take the knees in towards the chest. Let your arms come out to the side. And you're going to bring the knees over to the right. And you might find that the knees are together. You might find one knee is up. Whatever it is for you, let your left shoulder roll back towards the floor. Your right hand can just gently rest on the floor, or if you want to, you can rest it on your left thigh. which will just place a little bit of weight on that knee. If you're quite bendy and you are not feeling much, you're welcome to extend the bottom leg to deepen the twist. Okay? If your neck is okay, turn your head away from your knees so that you get a nice stretch all the way through the spine. And just soften into the twist. Gently bringing the knees back to the center. And if you need to, you can place the feet on the floor and just move the knees through windshield wipers. You can again roll up, lift the hips off the ground, and then release it back down. Or you can stay still if you want. Whatever feels appropriate for your body. And then gently draw the knees again into the chest and bring both knees over to the left. Let your right shoulder move towards the floor and the arm come out to the side. Your left hand can just release to the floor, or if you'd like to, if you did it on the other side, you can place the left hand on top of the right thigh, resting. And if you are bendy and you did the variation on the other side, you can extend that bottom leg coming into a slightly deeper twist. If your neck is okay, you can turn your head away from your knees and just gently surrender into the twist on this left side. Feel your breath into the abdomen, into the chest. Feel the twist sensation through the body, the spine, maybe the buttocks, the legs. Just an awareness of how the body feels in the twist, rather than changing anything, more just an observation. Soften through the shoulders, the head, the neck, the jaw. And gently bring the knees back to the center. And again, coming to a rebound. If you'd prefer to just come straight into Shavasana, you can. Or you can gently just roll from side to side with them, feeling the hips against the mat. You can also roll up through the spine and down, rolling up through the spine. But take a moment or two now to get yourself nice and warm. Use a blanket or a jumper. If you have a bolster, now's the time, or a pillow, to pop it under your knees, because that's going to support your lower back and take a little bit of pressure out of the back. You can soften the hands down beside you. You can have your hands resting on your belly if that feels appropriate for you. And just take a moment or two to really settle into a place where you can relax, soften, let go through the muscles. Gently closing your eyes, taking deep breaths in. Feel the breath flow. And notice the energy moving in the body. This is time for your body to notice the changes that occur during the yin poses. Your body to assess the stress and stretch that was put on the tissues while doing the poses. Feel your whole back soften, the hips, the legs, the ankles and the feet, the shoulders, the arms, everything becoming heavy, soft and still. Just feel the breath flowing. Feel yourself soften. Thoughts will come in. Just notice them and then let them float away. Bringing the focus always back to your breath. Feeling that as your fulcrum, your connection. Making sure you feel the connection to the earth, that grounding in the body, that sensation of calm and peace. Complete surrender. Take a deep breath in now. Fill the lungs. And sigh the breath out. This time, as you breathe in, feel yourself stretch dynamically through your arms and legs, stretching through the body, creating a little bit of movement. And then gently bending your knees and rolling off to your left side, resting your head on your hands. Feel yourself here. Reconnect with your breath. Open your eyes and gently coming up. Finding a nice, comfortable position. Take a moment here by closing the eyes again, resting the hands on the knees. Feel your spine start to lengthen back up. Bring the chin a little bit to the chest. And just feel some breaths here. Connecting back into your body, back into your mind. We'll close our class now with a single Om. Bringing the hands to the heart. Deep breath. May peace stay with you. Namaste. Thank you very much. Make sure you drink lots of water to really rehydrate the tissues, and I'll see you again.